Sarvriddhi Upcha Udrkam Mani Stambher Upskritam. Sarva, all calm desires, Dugham yielding, Divyam wonderful, Sarvaratna, all sorts of jewels, Smanvitam, bedecked with, Sarv, all, Ridhi, of wealth, Upchaya, increase, Udarkam, gradual, money, of precious stones, Stambhe, with pillars, Upskritam, adorned. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Translation. It was a wonderful structure bedecked with all sorts of jewels, adorned with pillars of precious stones, and capable of yielding whatever one desired. It was equipped with every form of furniture and wealth, which tended to increase in the course of time. Purport. The castle created in the sky by Kadamba Muni may be called a castle in the air. But by his mystic power of yoga, Kadamba Muni actually constructed a huge castle in the air. To our feeble imagination, a castle in the sky is an impossibility. But if we scrutinizingly consider the matter, we can understand that it is not impossible at all. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead can create so many planets, carrying millions of castles in the air, a perfect yogi like Kadamba Muni can easily construct one castle in the air. The castle is described as Sarva Kam Dugham, yielding whatever one desired. It was full of jewels. Even the pillars were made of pearls and valuable stones. These valuable jewels and stones were not subject to deterioration, but were everlasting and increasingly opulent. We sometimes hear of castles thus bedecked on the surface of this earth also. The castles constructed by Lord Krishna for his 16,108 wives were so bedecked with jewels that there was no need of lamplight during the night. Sorry, we forgot to sing the prayers. Narayana namaskrityam naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswati vyasam tato jaya mudirje nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevayaha bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. We also sing prayers, ask blessings from our Gurujans. Om Jnanatim Randasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chittapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sangitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padahan Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakamitam Cha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate He Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Taruvaksh Kripa Sindhu Vevachaha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we welcome all the devotees to this morning discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in the previous verse, Shri Kardamba Muni ji, husband of Mother Devahuti, he created a aerial palace. Let's look at the Maitreya Muni telling, Maitreya continued, Vidura seeking to please his beloved wife, the sage Kardamba exercised his yogi power and instantly produced an aerial mansion that could travel at his will. So that mansion was created, and in this particular verse, the attributes of that mansion, what's inside the mansion, what it's made of, is described. And Srila Prabhupada writes beautifully that this castle in the air, for most of us, it's a dream. It's it seems like it's impossible. We can't even put one brick in the air. And here, Kadamba Muni, the most advanced yogi of the time, he was able to create a castle in the air to please his wife. So we would like to make one point throughout our discussion for next, we have 20 minutes. This relationship between Kadamba Muni and Devahuti and this pleasing nature of Kadamba Muni and his wife Devahuti, both sides, they're looking to please each other. So it's both way. And sometime this pleasing nature of husband, he's trying to please his wife, can be misunderstood by some of us, and we can misconstrued that husband should always be pleasing his wife. Whatever wife desires, husband should please. So we must understand in the proper context. In the beginning of this particular chapter, it was mentioned that Devahuti serves her husband with intimacy and great reverence. It's and, not or. So for many of our mothers, and Srila Prabhupada also, he actually used many of these purports, especially in this back and forth discussion between Kadamba Muni and Mother Devahuti. He used these purports to actually give us so many lessons about our relationships. And Srila Prabhupada writes in that purport also in the beginning of this chapter that this is spirit of Mother Devahuti this chastity of Mother Devahuti. So, what is that chastity? That she has melted the heart of her husband to now and prepare her husband, please her husband to such an extent that he is ready to build a castle in the air. And never heard before that kind of castle with beautiful jewels and ever increasing opulences. And it can travel. This castle can be a traveling castle, mobile. So Srila Prabhupada writes in those purports that it's the chastity of Mother Devahuti that she came from this very exalted family of Swayambhu Manu, Prajapati, the original Prajapati of this creation, Swayambhu Manu. And she's getting married to a sage who's not good looking and who has nothing, who has a little bhajan kutir on the bank of the Bindu Sarovar. And she agreed. She did not question. So in today's context, we want to see that when today's girls are getting married, they look, they want to see what opulences they will get, what kind of job my husband will have, what kind of house he has, what kind of car he has, and then maybe look for, some elements of spirituality. Maybe if it's there, good. If it's not, no big deal. Is he vegetarian? Is he vegan? Is he yogi or not? That's 5%. 95% is everything else. But here, Mother Devahuti, her chastity to the relationship is based, the foundational principles of her chastity is very different. He's coming from the Daksha Prajapati, meaning the most wealthy person of that time, wealthy king of that time, Swayambhu Manu. More or less, is like Lord Brahma's right-hand man, has everything. And she's coming from that house and getting married to a sage who lives in the forest, who is not good looking, who has nothing. But it's not just that she got married because Brahmaji said something, because her father said something, so she agreed. But in that relationship, she's very, very joyfully, dutifully, happily serving her husband. And the word used is with intimacy and reverence, great reverence. Great reverence. So that great reverence, where you don't take your husband for granted, makes you great in the eyes of the husband. Giving utmost respect. I was talking to one devotee couple a few weeks ago. They have some differences of opinions in their lives, and one of the difference of opinion, I was amazed to see that Mataji said, my husband, Other husbands around me, other people are my friends, they buy gold for their wives every year. But my husband hasn't bought anything in last 5 years for me. That's not reverence. That's not reverence. Here, Devhuti did not demand or command that I need this, I need that. She just expressed in the verse, 2 verses before that, my body has emaciated by some austerities, and for your pleasure, if you would like, you can do something. And if you want to do something with my body, then also we may need some home. That was her proposition. Because she knew there is a greater mission here to prepare the progeny. Kadamba Muni is also one of the progenitor, part of the Daksha Prajapati, Swayambhu Manu. So she just expressed that. She did not ask for palace. She did not ask for jewels. She did not ask that we must create progeny. Nothing must. But she expressed that it seems like there is a need. You have a need, my husband. And there is some of my need that we together we need to fulfill a mission. There is some mission given to us by Lord Brahmaji and Lord Vishnu and my father. And to accomplish that mission, we may need something. And here, because she has pleased her husband with her chastity, intimacy, and reverence, that Kadamba Muni is so pleased that he is ready to give her a palace. So that's one point. That's a very important point that we must take to our hearts. That this relationship is a two-way. If wife is sarcastic, if every day, every week, every month she keeps bugging the husband that you must give me this, you must give me this, you must give me this, and she compares with others, neighbors, and other colleagues and the relatives that they get that, they get this, they get this, I get nothing. Then there is no reverence from her side to her husband. She's putting her husband down. And when you put somebody down, you're not pleasing. And you're not pleasing, even if you get gold, even if you get a diamond ring, it will not help the relationship to grow. It will never help the relationship to grow. And we see this example, Srila Prabhupada writes at the end of the purport here, the castle constructed by Lord Krishna for his wives, 16,108 wives. Again, those 16,000 wives also did not ask. Rukmani Devi also did not ask for a palace. And those other 16,000 who came from the jail, from the prison, they did not ask for a palace. They just asked that nobody will accept us because we were in the prison for so many years with this Narkasura. So we will not be respected. Nobody will accept us. Please, you do something. And Lord Krishna, understanding their mood and their humility, their prayers, their reverence, he was ready to give them palaces that also built with jewels, bedecked with jewels, and those palaces also did not require any light, any lamp light during the night. So it's the reciprocation. It's called proportional. Both sides. It's proportional. And it's for other person. And we see here Srila Prabhupada, when he went to Mayapur with some of his Western disciples in the beginning, they built a small little bhajan kutir for Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada actually used to live there also. That bhajan kutir is still there. And Srila Prabhupada said, I'm happy here. I don't need anything big. This little bhajan kutir, and you turn that into my residence, small. I'm happy. But if we don't build any other building, who will come? And people will come, they won't be able to live in this my bhajan kutir. Therefore, please construct a guest house building. So it's this mood of to serve others. Kadamba Muni is ready to serve his wife. His wife is ready to serve her husband Kadamba Muni with intimacy and reverence. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada's moved to serve others. Lord Krishna's moved to serve those 16,000 abandoned beautiful ladies and making them into, taking under their shelter and making them queens and giving them palaces, serving others based on the need. And it's just not the palace part. This is we will close with this particular statement that it's not that giving palace, giving gold, giving diamond is service. We see here in Vrindavan, Lord Krishna is not creating any palace. For all the gopas and gopis, because of their reverence, because of their mood, Lord Krishna is creating kunjas. Now those kunjas are made of straws. And many of those kunjas are made by the birds and the creepers and the plants of Vrindavan. So those are the jewels in those kunjas. And that's where the pastimes of Radha, Krishna, Gopa, Gopis are happening in the kunjas of Vrindavan. Are they less than this castle in the air or those 16,000 palaces in Dwarka? No, maybe more. They're more. Those kunjas are give more intimacy and more love and more. They bring devotees more closer to Krishna. So sometimes buildings are necessary, but more than building is the people in the building who are more important. Krishna is more pleased when we serve the needs of the people in the building. So this is the lesson we see in this particular pastimes of Shri Kadamba Muni, the most perfect yogi of that time. His mood to please his wife, and his wife Devahuti's mood to serve her husband with intimacy and reverence. If you take one word from this whole story in your heart, is take that reverence, wife's mood of reverence for her husband, giving utmost respect. Like we are revered, we give reverence to sannyasis and sadhus and senior people in the life, to our parents. So our Vedic Shastras give us this direction that to have that relationship, healthy relationship between husband and wife, and healthy relationship with other living beings. Having that respect is very important. Sharing our needs, our wants, but with respect. Like Devahuti is sharing her need of taking care of this emaciated body of her and building some small place for her so that their intimacy can grow and they can be part of this creating progeny for the next generations. So that's important that we learn. I will stop here if somebody wants to make a comment. Some reflection, 2 minutes are there. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anybody? We have many devotees. You can unmute yourself and share something what you see is practical for your own life.
It's not practical in this yuga, Kali Yuga.
Who is speaking?
I'm Neeru.
Neeru, yes. Yes, Mataji, say what do you want to say? What's in your heart?
I said nowadays even husband does not do that much Krishna prayer, and also wife does not do sincere service, and it is impossible what we have just today study.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other comment? Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. Kali Yuga makes things difficult. No question about it. But not impossible. Srila Prabhupada said impossible is the words in the Fool's Dictionary. But we must try. We may fail, but we want to try. Having good relationship is a struggle. It needs a lot of work. Relationships don't just come. Living under one roof is always a challenge because we become very close to each other and we know each other so much. We know each other's weaknesses, and familiarity breeds contempt. As we become more familiar with each other, husband and wife know everything about everything, and then you start seeing the weaknesses and you don't see the strengths, and then that reverence part is lost. Intimacy sometimes stays, but reverence is lost, and that causes problems. Thank you, Nirmati. We will stop here. Madhuri Prabhu, please take over.
Okay, thank you very much, Nikanto. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day and week ahead. I'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Jai Nrsimha,
Jai
Jai
Narsinga, Jai
Nrsimha, Jai
Narsinga,
Jai
Jai Jai
Nrsimha,
Narsinga,
Prahlada
Prahlada
Jaya
Jai
Padma
Padma
Padma Ugraveeram
Ugraveeram
Mahavishnu
Mahavishnu Jwalantam
Sarvatomukam
Sarvatomukam
Nrsimham
Nrsimham
Bhadram
Bhadram
Nityam
Mrityum Nityam
Namaham.
Namamyaham.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai,
Jai,
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
वैष्णववृंद की जय,
Jai,
आज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिला
Jai,
प्रभुपाद की जय,
Jai.
गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।
Hari Hari.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Devkinandan Babaji. Thank you, everyone. Hare